How can you redefine luxury? I'm Kate Sage. The Inspired CEO starts now. Welcome to The Inspired CEO, where each episode we explore the innovative wellness practices that are driving success in the modern business world. Today, I sit down with co-founder of Luxico and Parador, who are redefining luxury travel and holiday home ownership. Founded in 2013, Luxico offers personalised stays in high-end homes. In 2024, he launched Parador, enabling families to co-own holiday homes with easy app bookings. Welcome, Tom Omerod.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
I'm so excited to talk about what's happening in this space and the fact that you've got properties like the Block now with Parador that people can co-invest in and have syndicates. Tell us how you got started though. So take us back to Luxico and how it's evolved and where you see real estate going.
Fantastic. So I suppose probably subconsciously growing up all over different places such as, New Guinea and Fiji and England before coming to Australia, I just, subconsciously probably loved to learn to travel. And,
So you were born in New Guinea?
I was born in the UK and then sort of followed my parents around all these sort of interesting places and really loved sort of getting to know a place and moving around and living in different houses and going to different schools. And then, beyond then as a family, after marrying Alex, travel started to change as a family. We couldn't sneak that second baby into the closet of a hotel and hotels were sort of dead to us. So we started to think about, what the ideal sort of travel scenario would be from an accommodation point of view. And at the same time, we'd stayed in some pretty average properties that were holiday rentals and started to think about a new type of service where it was a great house, didn't feel like a sort of sterile serviced apartment, real design edge, overlaid with lots of, great service. And Luxico was really born out of that. And today it's a platform with great homes where you can really have a level of service that is to your liking. You can have butlers, chefs, anything you can think of we can bring in to look after you. So that business was founded just exactly 11 years ago with Alex, my wife, who's the MD of the business.
Incredible. What an experience to go away and actually have the luxury, but not having to put the second child in the wardrobe. I can relate to that story when you've got the newborn baby and it's a walk-in wardrobe, but
sometimes
you need
the bathroom.
Some peace. You need the other child to be able to sleep. Yep. So actually hotels become really difficult, and a lot of hotels don't actually offer, more than the family suite. So you're having 4 people in one small little room.
That's right. And they're expensive as well, you know, and there's nothing worse than, being in the middle of the night, not able to talk to each other, looking at screens while the kids are sleeping. So, we thought there's got to be a better way.
So you manage over 300 luxury properties now, around 300. Yep. So tell me some of the challenges that you face with managing these high-end properties.
Well, we operate in about 6 different locations at the moment, and one of the greatest challenges has been getting a consistency of service, a consistency of high-end service in every location. So, a guest might stay in Byron and then have a very different experience with a very different property in Melbourne. And it's not like a hotel where, let's say the TV breaks, you can just get in the lift, go up the lift and, provide a new TV. We've like rooms all over the place. So logistically, it's a difficult business to operate and getting that consistency. And I think that's certainly been a challenge. Another great challenge, as a business model has actually been the growth and scaling. And I think I must have read Reid Hoffman's blitz scaling, and I think at one point we thought we were blitz scaling, but we weren't. And so we had to unwind growth very quickly, so which was a very difficult time. So managing that process, and I suppose other challenges have been floods, the pandemic. The pandemic was very difficult. And some of the learnings from that was just being adaptable. So we had the fires, we had the flood, and then the pandemic. And during that period, it was just like you have to do whatever you need to do and be adaptable to make the business to continue. And my job, and something I got very good at, was cleaning toilets. So I actually branded that. It's like Toilets by Tom. It's like, so we just did whatever we needed to do to get through.
It sounds like a huge challenge. I can only imagine what it would have been like during COVID as well, and having this business then for 7, 8 years, and then going into a period where you're not able to rent out homes, and that's everything. And so what led you to starting Parador only this year?
So Parador really came out of the experiences that we were having Luxico post-pandemic, and they were really, the environment for holiday rentals started to change, and that was that regulations started to tighten up in certain locations. So in some locations we've got caps on the number of short night stays you can undertake. So land taxes started to increase as well, and bookings generally came off as mortgage rates went up. So people have bought houses and taken out, mortgages at 2%. Now they're 6%. The whole equation of owning a holiday home started to change. And I started being a counsellor to, mortgage, to holiday home owners, and really thought, well, there's got to be a better way and a more accessible way to own a holiday home. And along that journey, I met Ollie Howard, who's my now co-founder, and he was a long way down the path with a sort of, his background was in structuring and in law and in venture as well. So off we went to the races, and now, we've built a business that under Parador, it is a co-ownership platform where 8 owners own a holiday home together.
Yeah.
They get 44 nights use, they can book their stays under an app, and then Luxico can book the unused nights. So yeah.
Incredible. And I was talking to a girlfriend about this because I got onto the website and I was looking Noosa, the Gold Coast, Byron Bay, and obviously the block property coming up as well now. And to be able to actually invest in a syndicate, so to speak, I thought of it like buying a racehorse and having a small share in a racehorse or something that. And to have co-ownership of these incredible multi-million-dollar properties and the ability to actually use them as well. Because when you buy an investment property, you often don't get that ability to use the investment property. It doesn't matter where it is, someone else is getting that benefit. So how is that all structured? How do people access the use of these homes?
Well, it's really very easy. So the app basically breaks up and gives people some peak, standard and off-peak days, and you just make your bookings on the app. It's very, very easy. It's all fair. You can take 6 bookings in your calendar at any one time, and the ownership is through a unit trust. So it's it's something that people know. So it's real ownership of a property. So as you say, people are used to owning boats. This is an asset that should really go up in value.
Right. So really, if you're investing in this, it's the capital value, the capital growth that is the key part where the investment's going.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We're buying really well. We're buying in locations that I know, and we've overlaid a lot of data from Luxico where people love to stay and where there's been great capital appreciation as well, and really pick houses down to the street.
So it sounds like you've got your hands absolutely full at the moment, and I know there's other media opportunities and all sorts of things coming up. However, how are you balancing all of this with work, family? I know you have kids, and the 2 businesses both, going gung-ho.
I wouldn't say there is no work-life balance at the moment, and I think that's probably the choice that we've taken.
Yeah.
But certainly with kids, we're just leaning into anything that's important to them at the moment, and probably like you, doing a lot of running around for kids and what's important to them, whether it's basketball or netball and that type of thing. And for myself, I do get out and train 4 times a week. I do a sort of cross fitness followed by a sauna and then a cold plunge, a very, very short cold plunge, but a cold plunge nonetheless. So that's the sort of thing that sort of keeps me sort of going.
And you're in business with your wife as well. So what's that experience like, working with your partner?
I think, Kate, we've become the same person. So, like Tom Owl, and I think one of the lovely things about...
Tom Owl.
Yeah, we are Tom Owl. We are the same person. We think the same things at the same time, which is good and bad. So it's been a lovely journey with Alex over 11 years, but also sort of nice to do something different as well, where I am getting inspiration from somebody else and giving her a bit of room and space to really drive that business.
Incredible. And what are what are you passionate about next? What are the goals here? Like you said, you're giving up a little bit of this work-life balance for a bigger picture in the future. What are your goals?
Well, probably the personal goals are to start thinking about different things that are outside work. I'm going to start a course on building stone walls in the future and some really different things, because I think when you do a lot in business, you become, certainly I feel one-dimensional and looking to learn to do new things. So, and outside, obviously, business, we're looking to revolutionise a new category, and then obviously dealing with Luxico, which is evolving into a new business as well.
Incredible. So you've got Tom's toilet cleaning, is that right? And all these other
Toilets
things.
by Tom.
Toilets by Tom. So, and in terms of you, I guess your family's travel plans, those sorts of things, are you thinking travel comes back into your life at some stage?
Look, I really hope so. I'm from the UK, so going back to the UK is where I've spent all my money to see family. So I really hope that's a part of my children's future, where we've got this connection with the UK.
Excellent. Now, can you talk a little bit about the block and the property? Okay. And I'm sure people are fascinated.
Yes.
They've got a huge following. So tell us about that.
Well, really that idea came about as somebody coming to us and say, have you guys thought about this? I'd really love to own part of the block. And really our campaign is, you know, to take down the billionaires and bring the block back to the fans, essentially. So we're running a campaign at the moment. It's obviously getting a lot of press. I was out there yesterday meeting buyers, and really we're targeting the people that really maybe not be able to afford into that price point that they're starting at. So watch this space. Hopefully we'll get one.
I love what you're doing and taking out the billionaires and allowing the everyday people to have access to things they wouldn't usually have access to. So thank you so much for coming on today, Tom.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
Well, this is Ticker and we will be right back.
You're watching Ticker. We'll have more in just a few minutes.